Well, today I'm too cheap to buy a decent camera, so I'm just going to use this. And yes, Richard, I know you like to see it the other way, but this cheap phone won't work the other way. But mostly just wanted to showcase this Marvel Tales issue 215 from September of 1988. Reprints first Jigsaw storyline and Punisher. Early stories from, I believe it's 1976. What makes this comic special? Absolutely nothing to most people, but to me, it would have been summer of 1988. I was sitting at the Safeway store. My mom was looking at greeting cards, and I was looking at comic books. I never really got comic books as a kid, but when I looked, and this is what the selling point was. Now, first off, I love Spider-Man, and I love Spider-Ham. But this ad right here for the action figures, I wanted Major Blood so bad, and I never got him as a kid. So I actually used this order form, and I got Major Blood and the Cobra Hiss. So my original comic as a kid had this portion cut out, because I sent in for the action figures. But of course I loved this comic book because it was like the only comic book I had for the longest. Well, not too horribly long. I think I got G.I. Joe issue 76 not too long afterwards, which I just had CGC graded because I had it signed by Larry Hama. But yeah, just reprints. And then I remember the ads, Candelicious. I bought some, and it was nothing more than glorified Starburst. I remember seeing that ad because I looked at this book so much. Nothing great. Oh, this is always fun. Hulk comics. Batman, just to see the old issues, the prices. Whoa, was that Ninja Turtles #1, the 4th printing, $4? Second printing, or second one, third printing. Let's see, G.I. Joe. $39 to $46 are scarce. I have no idea if that's true or not. Might have been then. I don't know. But yeah, I remember there was a scene, not a scene, but a panel. Olympic. Yeah, I partake in selling of greeting cards as a kid. But there's a panel that I thought was so cool. Man, I really wish they would have made Jigsaw look like that in that Netflix show. That would have been great. Instead, it was a pretty boy with a couple of scars. This right here, I thought that was so cool. He's like shooting people, and I'm like, oh, whoa, Mom, look at this, which wasn't the smartest thing because I didn't get any more comic books after that other G.I. Joe I was just talking about until probably about 2 years later. She found it to be violent, yet they would actually take me to see movies like Platoon. But yeah, a drawing of a guy shooting a couple of little stick figures in the distance was too much. Mile High Comics. Let's see. Classic X-Men. Secret Wars. Was that Black Panther? Oh, that's... There's one that I have, I believe it's from the 70s. It's like Spider-Man #1. It was like $200. But yeah, there's the Spider-Man. I mean, Mile High, and then there's Web of Spider-Man there. Oh. And then another thing that I loved about this comic, because I would read comic books at my barber shop, Gary the Barber in Silverton, Oregon. Sadly, he passed away a couple years ago. But I loved Spider-Ham, and he would have Spider-Ham comic books in there. And so I'd sit there and wait to get my haircut and read Spider-Ham and Spider-Man comics. More advertisement. Just realized that's the Punisher as a shark. But yeah, this comic book, the funny thing is after I found it, it wasn't too hard to get, but trying to remember and line up everything to make sure it fit what I remember as a kid, took a little bit of effort, because I had to remember, I could not remember the cover. I remembered the inside ad was part of the cover, and then I remember that panel where I talked about where the guy was shooting, well, where Punisher was shooting the other smaller criminal guys. And then I remember that it had Spider-Ham in the back of it. So how I finally figured it out was I looked for issues that had Spider-Ham in the back of Spider-Man, and a handful of Marvel Tales issues came up, and realized that was a Punisher that was shooting the guy, and from there it fell into place. I'm happy I found it. Is it worth anything? Not much. Maybe a couple bucks, but it's sentimental, priceless.